we got the other roomie now.
Yay!
Okay? So Risa is in the house. And I would like to get your perspective on what you wanted the viewer to get out of the movie. Because, and I say this because 3 jurors got 3 different things from the movie.
What?
And I happen to identify with her character.
Uh-huh.
And with your character, I was like, every friend I meet is like, Bessie. And I'm like,
yeah. Wait, so what did you get out of it?
What I got from it was, 1, opposites attract.
Yeah, okay. Nice.
2, it's okay to continue to be yourself. That's what I got from it. Like, ultimately, you both were still yourself, but you found that middle ground, which was that movie.
Yeah.
It was like Devil's Tongue. Oh, this is my homegirl. I
This
like her now.
is so nice.
I liked it.
I want to do more of it.
I'm glad the judges found
You got
stuff we didn't.
it.
Oh,
And that was,
I didn't even
again,
get
it was a movie that was under 2 minutes.
I know.
Mind you, my daughter,
damn.
she loved your character. She
Oh.
one because you had all the cool decorations. So you had the Hello Kitty. She was like, "Oh, I want Hello Kitty." I was like, "Oh, I'm not buying it."
That was yours. That was your little. Yeah.
Well, I bought it as a prop
Yeah.
for your character.
For my character. Oh, that makes me so happy to hear. Like, yeah, that like a minute and a half or a 2-minute video, like you could get all that from that. I mean, that's kind of what that's what we said.
Mhm.
Yeah. I love that.
Wait, so there's one more missing.
Mhm.
What is it? What was the other interpretation?
Oh,
or
yeah. Yeah,
other
we got
message?
one.
The other, what was it?
Be yourself.
I don't remember what the other interpretation was, because I didn't write it down. But I think the other interpretation was just like
But you related to her.
2 unlikely people.
Mhm.
Did they ever become friends? Like, they were cool for that moment, but like, what is the probability of them actually lasting? And that's the reason why I was asking about, could you see this being a full feature?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna ask you that same thing.
Mhm.
Like, could you see it being like, if someone was like, budget, sky's the limit, do what you want with this.
Yeah.
Could you see yourself turning this into like a series, a feature film? Like, which direction would you want to take it?
I think I would see it. I could see it going 2 ways. Either like a series, like a streaming series where it is about 2 roommates and like our trials and tribulations, and we're so different. And like, I don't know, I see us tackling like dating in the workplace and us having like such different approaches, but then like convening at home, but like still being like on each other's side and like tackling life together. And then I see it as a series. I also see it as like kind of like, I could also see it be like a little, not a stoner movie, but you know, like one of those movies where it's like, it's just what's happening in real time between 2 characters and like like the craziness, like the debauchery that happens. Like someone knocks on the door and we don't know what to do, and it's just like crazy and chaotic, and they do it together and they have fun with their different perspectives. Like her being a little bit more like, I don't know, and then we just like, yeah, let's whatever.
Come in.
What if we just like set up like multicam situation and just improvised with like whatever other actors wanted to come by?
Yeah, just react to whatever happens.
Yeah.
That would be so fun.
But
Like,
with our perspective.
that could work,
Yeah.
actually.
Like a house party. You had a house
Oh my
party, and she's
God,
like,
a
"Who
house
are these
party.
people?"
I'm like, you like them? They're great. I know this person. I met them camping one day when
I'm getting stressed out thinking about this, but sure. Yes, and.
Yes, and yeah, make her feel uncomfortable, but like kind of interested at the same time.
Oh, God.
And then she kind of just jigging in the back,
And like, you're
but
gonna
she
love
doesn't want
it.
anybody to know that she's kind of like feeling the music
Yeah, she's like,
in the bathroom.
yeah. Then she comes out like, all like,
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah. But we're just, like uncovering it, like getting in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you?
You're needling me right now. I'm like, oh my God.
Put some ideas in there. Yeah, I think one thing was, because it was so short, of course I because we're going to present this. And of course I wish we had like more, like it was longer and we could talk about it. But I'm still really happy with what we have. I mean, here we are sitting and talking about it. So, and it's fun and it's cute. And yeah.
So, how close to your character would you say resembles who you are in real life? Like, would you have a situation where you met a roomie off Craigslist?
Probably not anymore. Like, now that I'm like, because I live by myself now, and like, I don't see, I have lived with roommates before, and I'm like, no, I like my own space.
Mhm.
So probably that's like a younger version
Mm.
of me. Now I kind of like my privacy and my space because I've just been doing it for so long.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's like a younger version of me that's like living in a city and I need a roommate, but I don't see it like that. I just see it as like, yeah, that's where I am. That's where we are in that phase of our lives. And I think we kind of talked about it. Like, we're in school. We're in like grad school. Yeah, you're in grad school.
Well, whatever it is, but we wanted there to be. Oh yeah, it was like the first hint that she is more intelligent than you might get the impression at the very beginning, right? Where she's talking, she's like, "Oh, my old roommate and her boyfriend," and da da da. But then she says something about like myth busting some scientific fact, and it's like, oh, she might be smart.
Yeah, something about the carotid or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I really liked about working with Asha was because, like, the way our process was she's like, what is kind of like your personality, or like, what would you, I feel like she was kind of asking me, like, what kind of energy would I bring to the table? And I was like, I could bring this kind of energy. Naturally, I'm just kind of like this. And then she kind of worked with it. And I did tell her, like, someone that's kind of like fun and like, nice. Maybe they kind of think of her as like an airhead, but if you like get to talk to her and get to know her a little bit more, you do start to realize like she's smarter than you think, even though she kind of has this demeanor. And like, I feel like we were kind of talking about like inspiration, and like Elle Woods from Legally Blonde was like an example. And I really like that Asha was just like, got it, I know the trope, I get it, kind of like in Elle Woods where she just kind of comes off as like this, but there's a lot more to her. So she definitely, like, in a short amount of time, she was able to work that in this story. Like, yeah, where you get to see this character that kind of comes off like this, but there's a lot more under there if you get to.
Well, it's funny because we were making this. I had explained earlier that I approached you because it was like, I want to do real scenes, because I'm also an actor, you're an actor. And stuff that we can use for our own marketing. Yeah. And so I thought, okay, micro shorts. But then when you're doing that, you have to make sure your scene partner is getting something out of it too. So that was the collaboration where we were both talking about like, what do we want? What do we want CDs to think of us?
Right away.
Yeah.
In a little clip.
In like 10 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just loving you guys' chemistry.
Oh.
The fact that she told us earlier that you guys had only met like a week ago.
Can you? Yeah.
Like a week before filming it, yeah, because it was at her show.
Like, she's a new friend. Like, yeah, I was performing in a play. Did she tell you this? I was performing in a play, and I
discovered you.
Yeah. Well, no, I was in a play, and she came in like after and was just like, "Hey, you did really good," and I was just like, "Who's this really nice person?" Like, she just was like, "Wow, you did so good," and then I don't know, I got a vibe about her. I was just like, "So, are you an actress too?" And then like, she's like, "Yeah," and I was just like, we should do something together. And she was totally like, yeah, let's do it. And I remember we gave each other a high five.
Oh God.
Very roomy, very bestie. Like.
It's really bad. Hang on.
1, 2, 3.
Oh!
That's a good one. We just gave each other a high five after the play. And I was like, and we
really
looked at each
loud.
other and we were like, that was a solid high five. And that's how we left each other that night. We're just like, high five. Well, let's work together. Bye. That's how it was. And then we became friends on Instagram. And then I feel like 2 days later, she messaged me and she was just like, hey, do you want to shoot a short film? Like, I'm going to rent a camera. Like, we can do I was just like, how do I say no to this? Like, here's this girl that I literally just met 2 days ago, and she's coming at me hard. Like, let's do this thing. And I was just like, all I had to do was say yes. And then and she's like, let's film it this weekend. And I was like, where are we going to film it? She's like, Fremont. I was like, okay, I'm coming. And we shot it in a day. So it's like, yeah, I really do think that's one of the best things about this whole, like, project. Like, I want people to, like, know about that. Like, even if you don't know someone, like, take a risk. And if you get good vibes from them, like, you never know. And here we are, like, a month or two later and excited about a film festival that we get to go to. So, yeah, it was nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know what? That kind of makes me want to ask. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever received advice from an unlikely source? Like good advice from an unlikely source?
All the time.
And what was it?
All the time, man. All the time. It's the universe. It's the universe. It's that intuition. Like, it's just vibes. And, like, I looked at her and I was just like, she's just like me. She's, you know, like a young woman out here trying to make it, trying to make our dreams come true. It was just a vibe. I don't get that all the time. But, like, when I feel it, I'm just like, do something with it. And then when she comes at me strong with, like, let's do this. Do you want to record a short film? Like, yeah. And then I was like, okay, that was right. Like, thanks, universe. Yeah, but I get things like that all the time. When I meditate, I did get a sign. Like, I felt like the universe told me, like, it's showtime. And I was like, and then that kind of kicked me off. All I heard was it's showtime. And then that kind of kicked me off in, like, what I've always wanted to do, which is acting. So, yeah.
What is your method, like, from doing this project, what is your method now as far as, like writing, directing? Like, what do you see yourself doing now that you didn't do prior to this project?
Acting and probably brainstorming and, like, because before I was just like, oh, I'm more of, like, an actor and I'll just come in and, like, do what is needed. I think with this one, it's like, I got to feel a little bit more of, like, where Asha was coming from, where it's like, I guess there's more power and control there because it's something that we created, and I got to bring more of, like, my actual personality to a story and, like, having that be kind of more of the forefront and then building a story around that was really nice. So, yeah, being more a part of, like, the creative process. Yeah, I could see that.
Hey, I'm Asha Bagel-Kelly.
I'm Risa Ferrer.
And we are really excited to have Roomie Movie Night screening at the Timeless Film Festival. And who are we in that?
Yeah, we're the Roomies in Roomie Movie Night.
And we're also everything else because we were also our own crew. So
she was. I just acted.
So come and see us on July 8th and see our movie. And we're excited to see everybody else's. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. Come out.